Spoilers for One Piece Chapter 1163, Promise. The chapter kicks off with Imu, still using Saturn's body, just massacring everyone. Pirates, Marines, doesn't matter. Dude's like, if you're breathing, you catching smoke. Then, finally, Imu comes face to face with the legend himself, Rox D. Xebec. Rox, being the absolute menace he is, yells out, "Hey, King of Rats over there, you're here to kill me, aren't ya?" And Imu, cold as hell, replies, "To think it was you, Davy Jones." Rox just laughs it off like, "You got the wrong guy, Chief. Never met that fella. But I do agree, a promise must be fulfilled." Imu's like, "That's why you all need to be erased, completely wiped from history." Bro thinks he's the divine delete button. And then, boom, they start fighting. Pure chaos. While that's going on, Garp pulls up with some Marines, just casually walking into the most dangerous battlefield in history. The Marines ask him, "Sir, should we back you up?" And Garp's like, "Of course we should." Then they ask, "But to whom?" Bro, that's when you realize even the Marines don't know who the good guys are anymore. Everyone's just beating the hell out of everyone. Then we switch scenes. Roger Pirates versus Rox Pirates. This part is insane. Captain John, the same guy who ends up as a zombie treasure hunter, suddenly flexes a Jiki Jiki no Mi, the same magnetic fruit as Kid. Man shouts, "Come to me, treasures," and starts sucking up everything metallic in the entire valley. My dude basically turned into ancient Magneto. Even Gavin's yelling, "Don't let your weapons get taken." And Roger's just like, "Move! I don't care." Like, bro, man's focused on the treasure while the world is ending. Then Ganzui, another Rox pirate, attacks Captain John using the Bomu Bomu no Mi. Yeah, same fruit as Mr. 5, and blasts him with an attack called Sky Snake Red Cannon. It's chaos. Everything and everyone is flying around. Even Dragon and Shanks get caught up in the magnetic pull. Back at the main fight, Rox and Imu are still throwing god-level punches. Garp tries to charge in, but the Marines grab him, saying, "That's the highest authority of the world government." And Garp just growls, "You mean that vermin?" And that's when Kaido shows up. Man says, "Rox, let me get a piece of that." But before he can even land a hit, Big Mom flies in on Zeus screaming, "Hold on a second, Kaido, I'm gonna kill you first." And before anyone can breathe, Roger himself jumps into the fight. Then Oda hits us with one of the most godlike double spreads in manga history. Roger, Garp, Rox, Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom all attacking Imu together. This ain't a fight anymore. This is literal divine warfare. Each of them lets loose their strongest move. Garp with Galaxy Impact, Roger with Divine Departure, Rox with Pandemonium, Whitebeard with Spacebreaker, Linlin with Ikoku Sovereignty, and Kaido's Screaming Dragon's Roar. Every Yonko-level move combined, the island's probably evaporating, pure Armageddon energy. And then, Oda being Oda, Imu tanks it. Like nothing happened. Linlin's like, "What?" Kaido's like, "That wasn't even my final move." Imu just stands there, then releases a wave of Supreme King Haki so massive, it knocks out everyone across God Valley. Even the Conquerors are dropping like flies. But Rox ain't done. He keeps pushing forward, actually manages to slice Imu into pieces. But of course, Imu reforms instantly. Then out of nowhere, Imu says the most sinister line of the chapter. "Mu can see your wife and son running through the forest." And you can literally feel Rox's heart drop. He yells, "Don't you dare even touch them." But Imu smiles and stabs him with two black tentacles straight through the chest, saying, "Rest assured, Mu won't be doing anything." Then, in a twisted, calm voice, Imu says, "You will be the one who wipes out your entire clan. Annihilate your wife and son." Rox screams, "What? What kind of absurd?" But before he can finish, Imu activates the most cursed technique we've ever heard in One Piece, Domi Reversi, black conversion control. Rox collapses, screaming in agony, and his body starts changing, his fangs growing, his skin darkening, transforming into something monstrous. A demon. The same kind of darkness we might have seen in Blackbeard's eyes. And that's how the chapter ends, with Rox beginning his transformation into a demon, while in the forest, Eris and Little Teach are seen running for their lives. No break next week. Oda's not letting us breathe. This chapter was absolute madness. Legit one of the most cinematic and emotional pieces Oda's written. We got Garp, Roger, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and Rox all attacking Imu, and it still wasn't enough. That alone tells you how absurd Imu's true power is. But what really hits hard is Rox. For decades, everyone thought he was just a power-hungry madman. But here, Oda paints him as a tragic figure, a man who tried to fight against the gods, only to be cursed and turned into the very monster he fought to destroy. Imu's Domi Reversi is terrifying. It's not just control, it's inversion, corruption, flipping good into evil. If that's what turned rocks into darkness, then it explains everything about Teach and the D-Clan's curse. And that line, "You will be the one who wipes out your own clan." Bro, that's straight up Shakespearean tragedy mixed with cosmic horror. This isn't just a flashback anymore. This is Oda revealing the original sin of the One Piece world, the birth of darkness itself. And the craziest part? No break next week. That means Oda's not even done cooking. We might actually witness the fall of rocks and the rise of the monster that haunted history. So yeah, that's One Piece chapter 1163, Promise. Absolute chaos, heartbreak, and god-tier storytelling. If you survived this recap without fainting from hype, drop a like, subscribe, and comment. Because this ain't just another chapter, this is history being rewritten.